1878 to 1903, is known for his social reforms and his recognition of the rights of the worker. During his reign, the Roman Catholic Church achieved an international prestige it had not enjoyed since the Middle Ages. He was an Italian priest of the Roman Catholic Church and the 257th Pope.
Giacinto Vincenzo Raffaele Louis Pisci was born March 2nd, 1810 in Cabrito, a town in hill country south of Rome, the sixth of the seven sons of Count Lodovico Pisci and his wife Anna Prispi Buzzi, a family of the Italian minor nobility.
At the age of 8, together with his brother Giuseppe, aged 10, he was sent to study at the new Jesuit school in Viterbo, the present seminary. He remained there 6 years and gained that classical facility in the use of Latin and Italian are what justly admired in his official writings and his poems. He remained yet uncertain as to his calling, so it had been the wish of his mother that he should embrace the ecclesiastical state.
He was a talented student. He studied at the Roman College and the Academy of Noble Ecclesiastics, the Roman training school for future members of the Italian diplomatic service. He was ordinated in 1837.
Pope Gregory XII granted Pisci the title Monsignor. In January 1843, he was appointed nuncio to Brussels as successor of Monsignor Fornari. Pisci was Bishop of Perugia for 32 years, from 1846 to 1878. Pope Pius IX raised him to the rank of cardinal in 1853.
After the 31-year pontificate of Blessed Pius IX, the cardinals at the conclave to elect Cardinal Pius on February 20th, 1878, as his successor. No doubt to the elector's surprise, Pope Leo went to serve as Pope for 25 years, making his pontificate the third longest in history.
After his election, Pope Leo never went outside the gates of the Vatican. Pope Leo was in office until the age of 93. He was the oldest pope and had the second longest papal region. Before Pope John Paul II, he is known as the Pope of the Working Man.
As Pope Leo XIII reigned with decidedly monarchical style, but he was also, in the word of Papal Chronicle, a man of deep conservative piety. He died on June 20th, 1903, at the age of 93. Died from pneumonia and old age, the oldest man to occupy the papal office up to now.
The Pope lay in state in St. Peter's Basilica. His final resting place is the Basilica of St. John Lateran, which is the official seat of the Bishop of Rome.
The vision of Pope Leo XIII. Exactly 33 years to the day prior to the great miracle of the sun in Fatima, that is on October 13, 1884, Pope Leo XIII had a remarkable vision. When the aged pontiff had finished celebrating Mass in his private Vatican chapel, attended by a few cardinals and members to the Vatican staff, he suddenly stopped at the foot of the altar. He stood there for about 10 minutes, as if in trance, his face ashen white. Then going immediately from the chapel to his office, he composed the above prayer to St. Michael, with instructions it be said after all low masses everywhere. When he said what had happened, he explained that as he was about to leave the foot of the altar, he suddenly heard voices, 2 voices, one kind and gentle, the other guttural and harsh. They seemed to come from near the tabernacle. As he listened, he heard the following conversation. The guttural voice, the voice of Satan in his pride, boasted to our Lord, "I can destroy your church." The gentle voice of our Lord said, "You can? Then go ahead and do so. Satan, to do so, I need more time and more power. Our Lord, how much time? How much power? Satan said, 75 years to 100 years, and a great power over those who will get themselves over to my service. You have all the time, you will have the power. Do with them what you will." In 1886, Pope Leo XIII decreed that this prayer to St. Michael be said at the end of low Mass, not high or sung Masses, throughout the Universal Church, along with the Salve Regina, and the practice of the congregation praying these prayers at the end of the continued until about 1970, when the introduction of the new rite of the Masses.
John Paul II and St. Michael. At the end of the Angelus message given in St. Peter's Square, Sunday, April 24, 1994, Pope John Paul II urged Catholics to recite this prayer to St. Michael once again. This prayer can fortify us for the spiritual strength about which the letter to the Ephesians spoke of. Finally, draw your strength from the Lord and from his mighty power, and to this same battle that the book of the Apocalypse refers, recalling in front of our eyes the image of St. Michael and the Archangel. Surely, this scene was very present to Pope Leo XII, when, at the end of the previous century, he introduced to the entire Church a special prayer to St. Michael. St. Michael the Archangel, defend us in battle. Be our protection against the wicked and snares of the devil.
Rerum Novarum, or Rights and Duties of Capital and Labor, is an encyclical issued by Pope Leo XIII on 15th of May 1891. It was an open letter passed to all Catholic particles, permits archbishops and bishops, that address the condition of the working classes.
It has discussed the relationships and mutual duties between labor and capital, as well as government and its citizens. Of primary concern was the need for some amelioration of the misery and wretchedness pressing so unjustly on the majority of the working class. It has supported the rights of labor to form unions, rejected socialism and unrestricted capitalism, whilst affirming the right to private property.
2 documents of Pope Leo stand out in particular. One is Rerum Novarum, dated on May 15, 1891, and the other one is Testem Benevolentiae, Witness of Goodwill. Contained a condemnation of Americanism.
The 13th, in light of his unprecedented promulgation of the Rosary in 11 encyclicals, was called the Rosary Pope. In 11 encyclicals on the Rosary, he promulgated Marian devotion. In his encyclical on the 50th anniversary of the dogma of the Immaculate Conception, he stresses her role in the redemption of humanity, mentioning Mary as mediatrix and co-redemptrix.
While on pilgrimage with her father and sister in 1887, the future Saint Teresa of Lisieux attended a general audience with Pope Leo XIII and asked him to allow her to enter the Carmelite order. She took it in her own hand and said through tears, "Most Holy Father, I have a great favor to ask you. In honor of your jubilee, permit me to enter Carmel at the age of 15. Leo XIII answered, "Well, my child, do what the superiors decide." Teresa replied, "Oh, Holy Father, if you say yes, everybody will agree." Finally, the Pope said, "Go, go, you will enter if God wills it." Shortly thereafter, the Bishop of Bayeux authorized the priories to receive Teresa, and in April 1888, she entered Carmel at the age of 15.
The Rosary is the most excellent form of prayer and the most efficient means of attaining eternal life. It is the remedy for all our evils, the root of all our blessings. There is no more excellent way of praying.
Pope Leo XIII said, "The equal toleration of all religions is the same as aesthetism."
The family was ordained of God, that children might be trained up for himself. It was before the church, or rather the first form of the church on earth.
Pope Leo XIII said, "Once the demands of necessity and propriety have been met, the rest that one owns belongs to the poor."
Peace is built on the foundation of justice.
O Virgin most holy, none abounds in the knowledge of God except through thee. None, O Mother of God, obtains salvation except through thee. None receives a gift from the throne of mercy except through thee.
Suffer and endure is the law of humanity.
Peace is built on the foundation of justice.
Divorce is born of perverted morals and leads to vicious habits.
Catholics are born for combat.
There is in the Sacred Heart the symbol and express image of the infinite love of Jesus Christ, which moves us to love in return.